But I'm Linda Martinez. A little bit about me. I've been in all levels, from the littles to the middles, and now with the high school kids. This is my 20th year with PSJA. Yay! And just recently been selected as the new Bears librarian for the high school. So really excited about that. Um, so I was asked to present about my digital app smashing. I kind of use several different ways to make my job a little bit easier. This past year, I was at 3 different high schools, the 3 specialty high schools. PTI, which is my somebody fills out greetings all. I'm here to handle all tasks. Okay, I think that's automated. I was at PTI. Those are my SPED kids, 18 to 22-year-olds. We help them transition into the workplace. And then I had Buell Central, which are our boot camp kids. Those are 6th grade through 12th grade. They usually made a mistake and they get sent there for 6 weeks to about 6 months, sometimes a year, a little bit longer. And then my last campus was CCTA. Those are adults that have come back and are trying to finish up credits or take a STAR test or anything they need to do to get their high school diploma and maybe some little bit of college credit before we send them on their way. So that's me. The reason I do what I do is because this generation we're competing against iPads and cell phones and digital technology. And I try to gamify all my lessons, especially in librarian worlds. We teach about databases and sometimes things that aren't the most exciting things. And kids just want to Google everything. So I try to tell them the benefits of what I do and why we need to learn databases and research and things like that. And in order to compete with all the video games and all that fun stuff, I try to gamify all my lessons, especially in those special purpose campuses where they've kind of given up on learning and they just want something fun. So I'm going to share my presentation and I hope that everybody can hear me well. Um, Yay! Full screen, right? Ah, wrong button. Let's minimize that. Okay, so yay, me again. Let me know if you can't hear me or am I going too fast or you don't understand or something like that. I'm all for questions. Turn on your mic and just be like, hey, Linda, let's pause right there. Let's go back. And questions, because I don't see the chat and I thought I would have a moderator to tell me like, hey, this is, somebody has a question, things like that. So here we go. So just another title shot because I think the district requires us to have. So this is me, Linda A. Martinez. That's what I look like when I have my makeup and I comb my hair. Like I said, I was at a lemonade stand this morning from like 10 a.m. to just now with my nephews. So I just rushed home and turned on the computer to make sure everything. So we're learning how to use different apps to make one lesson. And I know that sounds a little daunting, but I promise that these apps make it really easy and really fun. And when you're doing this lesson, especially if you're teaching the same grade, like as a librarian, I reuse the lessons and kind of just tweak them to make them better. So you kind of already have all the like the foundation of it. So it might seem like a lot in the beginning, but it's really cool, I swear. Um, so these are what we're going to go over today. What is gamification? We're going to go over Discovery Education. That's one of the databases that we use and I love so much. Then we're going to go over Magic School a little bit and then Google Forms. So we should know Google Forms, but just in case you don't, we're going to go over that a little bit. And then for it, we're going to do where the magic happens and smash them all together to make those cool digital breakout games or the other games that we play. So what is gamification? Gamification, basically, that's what I was just telling you. We're competing against iPads and technology, and these kids have the attention span. I mean, I'm an adult and I don't have a very large attention span. So I can imagine these little ones, right? These littles are going around and they're so used to instant gratification. And what are you going to give me if I do this? That's what this world is. It's really fast paced. So gamification is basically using game elements to transform your lessons to make them a little bit more palatable. Kids really like them. They like to compete against each other. I've seen it at Buell where the kids don't want to do anything and they're super involved and every week they wanted to go to the library, which was really fun. And I'm so sad that I was only there for 1 year, but Yeah, they really liked it. So of course the benefits are they increase student participation, motivation for the students. They have a better way of retaining the material because they're actually reading it and trying to solve the problem because they want to play the game. And then of course the classroom collaboration. I had a really big success, especially at those schools that they really don't want to work with each other and they don't want to talk to each other. They were all working in pairs trying to solve the questions or the problem as quickly as possible because they wanted whatever prize. Or in other instances, they get a certain amount of shots when they get a certain amount of numbers right. So it's just different games that I use, but everybody was so willing to play. Of course, I had the one or two, especially at Buell, that just didn't want to play and kind of sat out. And then when they saw that everybody got candy, candy goes a long way, right? Little treats. Of course, everybody wanted to participate the next time. So gamification is just a different way of revamping lessons to make them a little bit more fun. So these are the three apps that I use. I love these. I do use other apps, but these are the ones that I use the most and I keep on going back to. Um, I did a lot of this in the fall, and I've done this presentation in person. So I feel a little weird, like just talking to a computer screen, because I don't think I've done this in a couple of years where I'm just talking to the computer screen and not seeing anybody's faces or trying to gauge to see if people are understanding or following or I'm talking too fast, things like that. So again, if I am talking a little fast, please say, hey, Linda, go back. Can you show me that again? I totally take the feedback. I know it's the end of the day also, so I don't want to keep you the entire time, but I think they told me I have to talk for like 50 minutes at least, which is crazy. I can talk forever, but I think it's a lot. Uh, so Discovery Education. So Discovery Education, if you haven't heard about it, we used to have a different database and I cannot remember the name of it, but it had a bunch of videos and things like that. And oh, and one of them also, we had Brain Pop. So the whole thing about the district is if you don't use it, we lose it. And you may be using it, you may be loving it, but the majority of the district isn't using it. And I totally understand where it's like we get a program and we have it for 2 years and the district's like, oh no, this one's too expensive or this one didn't work out. And we switch. And that's why a lot of times the educators don't know which apps we're using now. So this one has been around, I want to say since last year, maybe the year before. It replaced Brain Pop. So if you don't know, we don't have Brain Pop as a district anymore. We don't have Brain Pop as a region anymore. So Region 1, we are in some kind of cohort with different districts, and Region 1 supplies all our databases. So if you ever want to know what databases your school has, McAnvia, go talk to your librarian. McAnvia is a portal where we house all those databases. They're usually in Clever also, and to access McAnvia, you would go through your Clever, or you can go to macanvia.com. You would enter your school, and then when your school would pop up, it would go into, it's already Google integration where your Google credentials work. So Discovery Education is one of the databases, and we're going to check that one out. So I'm going to stop sharing this one. And we're going to go to Discovery. So Discovery. So let me go back. So McAnvia, this is what McAnvia looks like. I'm logged in since I just moved to Bears. I'm logged in under Buell Central. This is where I am. But this is what McAnvia is. Again, if you have any questions about McAnvia, it's a great resource. I don't know, librarians have been talking about McAnvia for years, and it kind of like, I totally get it. Teachers are so bombarded with information at the beginning of the school year, and then the librarians come in and they're like, oh, this is a great website. And we get just like, oh my God, here's another website. And then you get to planning your first days of school and procedures and all that things. And then we kind of just, it's always in the back burner, like, what did my librarian say? What was that site? But you don't remember and you just get busy with life. I totally get it. But if you do have any trouble, you can reach out to me. I'm the only Linda Martinez in the district, so there have no number attached to my email. But this is really cool because these are all the databases and resources that we have as a district. And sometimes if you're in elementary, you have Pebble Go too, which is also a really cool one. I don't have access to that one. And there's even things like this one, Peterson Test Prep, say you are trying to get a side gig as an educator for whatever reason and you want to be a real estate agent or cosmetologist or anything like that, or a firefighter part-time, they have the practice test in this one, and you just need your PSJA credentials to log in, and you can actually access all those practice tests. So even if you have a family member that is trying to learn English, or a son or daughter trying to get ACT, things like that, this is a great resource. So just star it if you're logged in, add it to your favorites. These are really cool. But if you have any questions about databases, you can reach out to me or your librarian on your campus. They will love to talk to you about McAnvia. I promise. We beat it like a horse, like a dead horse. We love McAnvia. It also houses our ebooks and our audiobooks. The district shares with the other schools in our region a set of audiobooks and ebooks. So you don't have to buy those on Audible. We have some on there too. So it's a great resource. But this is where Discovery Education is housed. So we would open it up. And again, if you're chatting with me, I can't see the chat. So you got to unmute and say, hey, I have a question. Yes. Okay. So this is what Discovery Education looks like. When you first log in for the first time, it's going to try to personalize it to you. It's going to ask you your grade. What do you do? What subject you prefer. I kind of have it on an all for all, like I picked all subjects. I do have it on a high school level. So you'll see where it says curated for you. It'll have different resources just for high school level and maybe a little bit upper middle, because that's what I go on. But you can search different items. I would work with the science teacher a lot at Buell and the social studies teacher. And so I think this is why science videos came up. So I would go up to him and tell him like, okay, what are we learning about? What the kids are having trouble with? And he would say like the anatomy of a cell or the parts of a cell. So I would look for a video here. And I'll show you really quickly how cool it is. I got ahead of myself. So I think that's why this says plant cells. But if you scroll down, it'll have channels and curriculum packs. It has teacher worksheets, some really cool stuff. It even has PowerPoints already for you, slideshows, and choice boards. Really cool stuff. So you can look up different subjects. I want to say the teacher asked me about plant cells, and this is exactly what I did to do his game. Oh, and I looked up plants. I don't know about you all, but my internet's a little slow. Plant cells. So it gave me these slideshows and a studio quiz using the activity to support learning about plant cells, SOS, and make it concrete. So we can click on some of those to see what they are. But this was a full video right here. And what he wanted just like a specific part of the video. So the cool thing of Discovery Education, they're all sought out videos. So if you go on YouTube and you're not going to find any crazy commercial or anything like that. These have been all vetted for you. So totally cool to use. What I like about it is say you don't want to show the entire 3-minute video. I know you say 3 minutes might not seem like a lot, but sometimes you feel like, oh, I don't have 3 minutes to show. It'll show you the video segments as well. So this is where I put it. So I used this part, plant cells. So the full video was 21 minutes, which was really long to talk about cells. And especially if you only have a 45-minute period. So if you just want the little clip on plant cells, this is what we used. So let me click on this. And nothing is happening. Internet. Oh, here we go. I'm impatient like the kids. Got nervous. Oh, it looks like we have 22 people. Great. So when we click on the video segment, it's going to look like this. And then you have all these options here. There's some really cool options like building an activity. You can assign it. So this is Google integrated also. So if you have Google Classroom in your classroom, you can assign the kids to watch the video on their own. It has all that capabilities. And then of course it has an AI assessment. This is a new feature. They didn't have this when I was working with it in the fall. So that's really cool. So that might even be easier than going through Magic School and then going into Google Forms. I haven't seen that. Should we play with it now? I'm afraid because what if I don't know the content? What if it doesn't work out for me? But yeah, this is what it is. And then I like to click on the full details because it gives me a transcript. So these are the segments, and then it gives me the transcript. And it's really cool because when we're doing some of these puzzles, the kids watch the video and they didn't get it because kids have different learning styles. So some of the kids understand better if they read it. So I've taught the kids already to look up the transcript and they'll start reading the parts because they don't want to watch the video again for whatever reason. And they'll look up for their answers. So, and you can search within the transcript, which is really cool too. But the kids at my school already know that, hey, I can click on transcript and it'll give me the entire transcript of the video. So what I like to do is like, say I'm using this video and I want to make a quiz, I would copy the transcript and then take it to our next app. But this is the way that I would get the information of the transcript. I know in Magic School, they also have a way of you can use a YouTube link. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. But we'll talk about Magic School in a bit. But it also lets you copy the link here and you can download the video. So just in case the internet goes out, things like that, you have a copy. I'm going to click on AI assessment because I'm really curious. Excuse me. I click on the chat. I'm wondering. Welcome to AI assessment. So terms of use, which we all should be reading because these terms are important to us. Hopefully they are not stealing my information. Okay. Welcome. This AI tool generate. Oh. So it looks like I'm gonna be like, oh, well, the presentation's over. Discovery Education is doing it all for us. No, we'll keep on going. But
Ms. Martinez,
yes.
it's Nora. Hi.
Hi. I recognize your
I'm
voice.
your moderator. So
Oh, hey.
I don't, there's nothing in the chat at this point. So
Okay,
I've been here from the beginning.
cool.
Okay.
So Ms. Rios, Ms. Nora, she is a fellow librarian from Livas, great librarian. So if you're
Thank
from
you.
Livas Elementary, please go bother her about Mac and Via and
Anytime.
Discovery Education. Yeah. Or whatever librarian is also in the chat. Shout out to you all because they are a plethora of knowledge, I promise. They know. And if they don't know, they'll come out with an answer. They'll tell you, I don't know, but they'll be thinking about it, I promise. So again, this is new to me. I'm experimenting, which maybe is not the norm for you all. So sorry if this is not what you signed up for. Yeah. So identifying London, I'm so curious because this is a new feature to me. Oh, you know what? Look, it even says beta here. And next week, we do have Discovery Education going into the mine's called the secondary post conference. So I'm sure there'll be a discovery person in the elementary and the middle school ones too. So I'm sure they're going to talk about all this cool stuff. So now I feel like, okay, maybe I should just skip it because it looks a little overwhelming. Oh, okay, so reading level. Oh, it looks cool. Okay, I'm going to skip this but it looks like this AI test teacher tool thing looks like it's going to replace all my app smashing. Maybe my app smashing could be better. Could be. Okay. So really, really cool. Let me see what else I can show you. Oh, we'll do build an activity. So you can build a slideshow with video quiz. And it has tons of resources. My science teacher, when we showed him the video, he was like, this is exactly what I needed. And he loved it instead of watching all these YouTube videos. Because I know we're trying to save time when you're playing lessons, you're looking for that video without any perversion or anything like that going on. So, so this one, I guess you would add a question. Yeah. You would add a question while the video is playing. So I guess it would stop, kind of like what Brain Pop would do. Brain Pop, it would ask questions after the video. Very cool. So let's move on to the next one. But this is This one is a lot. Discover Education, like I said, during the conferences this coming week, there's going to be a lot of talk about Discovery Education. I really like it. I hope that everybody else does too. And remember, if we don't use it, we lose it. So try to dab in there so we can get some numbers, help your library now. Going on to the next one. Okay, this is TAM. Where are we? Here, Magic School. So we don't know what Magic School is. Magic School. There's the website. And then if you haven't heard about Magic School and all their magic, it is AI powered. It's an educational platform. It offers a suite of apps that assist educators to do all sorts of time saving things. Recommendation letters to colleges. It helps you if you don't talk very eloquently, I like to say, because I don't. It changes those words to those nice emails so you don't sound like you're yelling at somebody or trying to fight. It does all sorts of things. Magic School is the craziest thing. I used it one time because my boyfriend, he's a social worker, and he had to make some PowerPoints on some really like kind of kinder level lessons. He had to make PowerPoints like on hand washing and hygiene. And he was like, I made them. And then he's like, well, can you translate them? And if you know Linda the librarian is not very Spanish dominant. I can speak it very funny and I can read it slowly, but I understand it really well. So trying to translate a hygiene PowerPoint through, no, that wasn't gonna happen. So I sent it through Magic School, and guess what? Magic School switched it all to me and made the PowerPoint really cute, and it was great. So Magic School, we're gonna go look into Magic School. So I logged in, again, Magic School is through our teacher credentials. You get a lot of teacher tools. Let's go to Magic Tools. So these are our tools, and you'll see like the ones that say hot is because a lot of people have been using them. I love how Magic School also got incorporated with Adobe. So Adobe Express is also really big with AI. And if you haven't played with Adobe, is like image generator. Say your mascot is the wolves at your school, because you're at an elementary, I think. I can't remember who's the wolves or the huskies. I know there's an elementary with huskies or wolves or something like that. And you want a wolf or a husky reading a book because you think that would be cute. If you click on this image generator, it will generate photos for you. So say you want, I always love dinosaurs. I know that I'm a future bear, but I'm always looking like, oh, let me have a dinosaur reading a book because I'm obsessed with dinosaurs. So I'm always generating things. But I guess with my new school, I could do make me a bear with a book, and that would be cool. And these are generated, AI generated. Wants me to sign in. Oh, this wasn't my presentation, so I'm just showing you like the cool stuff. Yeah. Because my computer's really slow today, so I don't know if we're not going to do. But go play with the tool, the image generator. Those are really, really cool. I promise. We also at one of our trainings, they had us make like a little image of ourselves, like a little librarian, but in cartoon version. And the cool thing about those is that you have to be really descriptive. So when you do it with your students, it helps the students with being descriptive, because if you say, oh, make me a boy wearing pants and a shirt and tennies. And then when you're looking at it and the kid comes out with a different complexion and has curly hair instead of brown hair, or is wearing a yellow shirt instead of a red shirt, like it makes the kids go into that descriptive mode where like, have me a tan boy wearing a baseball cap and a yellow t-shirt and blue jeans with black tennis shoes, holding a book and a bottled water. So it makes the kids being really destructive. I know there was one librarian that did tell a story that it has blocks on it since we're in the educational system. So one kid was determined that he wanted to have like a bloody Halloween scene, which is not appropriate. And the AI generator would not pick up the word bloody or blood or gore or anything like that, because Again, it's not appropriate. I don't know what's trying to install into my computer, but the kid got around it by putting ketchup all over the place. So the generator did make ketchup all over the place that kind of looked like blood, but it made the kid think. So even though people are saying, oh, AI is ruining everything because it's not, it's taking the kids' creativity, sometimes we can look at it another way. I love how when we're trying to create our little emojis and things like that, we're trying to be really descriptive to make it look exactly like us. And I think the kids would have a great time also trying to be very creative and descriptive with the words to get their little image to look exactly like they wanted it. So that's just, and I can go on about generator, but Magic School has tons of other things to do, presentation generator, a worksheet generator. So if you're not using it, this is a great, everybody has the free version. I think I have the plus only because I am not an ambassador, but I'm something. I'm not as, there's like 2 levels. I'm not the high level, but I'm just here to get the free stuff. But the one I'm using is the multiple choice assessment generator. So you would ask it the grade level and it has the different variety of grades. I use ninth, the number of questions. I usually use 5 to 10 questions. I kind of feel like after that it's excessive. The kids don't want to do it. And then I'll ask you the topic that you want to talk about. I would put plant cells. And then the standards. If you have like, I know in Texas we use TEKS, but if you're trying to make lesson plans for different parts of the country, I know they use CCSS, things like that. And then this is where I also add the file. The file is not here, but I'll add it up here, is where I'll put the transcript. So the transcript, I'll use it to generate the quiz. So I'll go to Discovery. We can do this now. Discovery, this was this video. Miss Nora, do you know what time this ends? Am I going too slowly? Am I going off track too much? Just want to be mindful of everybody's time. So I got a little excited. I copy all of this.
Linda, I think you have till 2:55.
2:55, yeah.
2:55. Great. Was that Rachel?
Yes. Amy,
Yes,
that was
hi.
Amy.
Hi.
Or Rachel.
Another one.
Yes,
the
Amy
librarian.
posted also.
Hey, hi. So I copied the text from there and then I'll just paste it in here. And it gives me like the seconds also. So when I come back to here, I generate, and it usually makes me a nice little quiz connected to my video, 10 questions. And what I like about this is that the answer key, oh, it didn't do it this time, but usually the answer key also gives me the minute, like where the minute and the second of where I can find it in the video. This time it didn't. I wonder why. But with anything that you create with AI, make sure to go and check it. Don't just trust it and say, oh yeah, it's going to give me the perfect quiz. Because just like anything, it's a computer and it's not always accurate. I think the rule is 80-20, 80% accurate, 20 you have to go back and check. And if with anything exactly with teaching, yes, we can take shortcuts, but it's always important to go back and check. So these are the questions. And then it gives you the answers at the bottom. So sometimes it depends on the game. If I'm doing this into escape room, obviously I'll get the questions and I'll take them to Google form. But if it's not, we're doing like trash get ball or capture the flags, I'll just download the file and it makes it into a PDF or a Word file. And then I'll print them out. Yes. So before we go to Google Forms, let me go back. Let me go to, because I think we're all kind of familiar with Google Forms and I don't want to. I'm going to say, okay. This is Google Forms. I think we know what Google Forms are. They're great for quizzes, summaries. We're not going to go into it really quickly, but we'll show you. Okay, let's smash them together. So the first one I did, so once we have our quizzes, right? This is capture the flags. So capture the flags, I print out 6 different color of flags and I'll paste them around my board. You can kind of see the yellow and the green ones here. Then there's blue, pink, purple, and there's orange on the board. Depending on how many teams, I'll make the thing into 4. I usually try to play with 4 teams, but sometimes at Buell, it's dependent. You can see a couple of kids on the table. The class size ranges from about maybe 4 kids at a time. I know that sounds like ideal, right? 4 kids to 12 at the most. So it's really, I mean, it's small. It's a small setting, but this definitely can be used for a larger setting. You would put them in groups, however big you want the groups. So we would make them into groups of 2 because I think this class only had like 6 kids at the time. So groups of 2. Luckily, Buell does not have a one-to-one system on technology. So the Buell kids do not have a laptop tied to them or anything like that. Luckily, this year I was granted 10 iPads from Region 1. So those are the iPads the kids are using. Buell does not have iPads, unfortunately. They don't have any technology. All the hand-me-down technology that they have, that's what gets sent. So I was really fortunate to win. It was like a raffle, and I ended up getting 10 iPads, which worked out really well. So we would talk about, I think this one, in this sense, we were talking amendments. So we would go to the amendment video. I would show the link. They couldn't log in either because their emails were also, so all the iPads would be logged into my name, but they would watch the amendment video. And then they also had a worksheet with all the questions. So the way they would do it was I told them, okay, one side is one team, or each quadrant could be a team. So the object, and this one, it looks like 4 quadrants. So there was 4 teams. So the way the game is played is that you get the 10 questions, and every time you answer one question correctly, you can't answer all 10 at once. You have to answer them one by one. And every time you answer a question correctly, you would show it to the teacher, and me and the other teacher was there, Mr. Proctor. We would say yes or no, it was correct or it was not correct. They would go have the opportunity to grab a flag. So the game was called Capture the Flags. So it was to try to capture as many flags onto their quadrant as possible. The rule is they can get as many flags and they can get whatever color they want. They don't necessarily have to stick with one color. So really quickly, like I would name, like one color was the orange team, the other one was the green team, yellow team, purple team. And even though they thought like, oh, let me get all the orange flags, they were trying to be really sneaky about like, oh, we're going to steal the orange flags from this player. So if you see the first quadrant, it has 2 orange flags. And then the other 2 quadrants have 1 and 1 because they were trying to steal each other's flags. So it's the object of the game is to get as many flags as possible. So it's really important that they answer one question at a time, because if they answer all 10, then they're just grabbing the flags all at once versus going up there and stealing each other's flags or getting flags from the side. We did encourage the kids to get flags from the side, but they were adamant about stealing each other's flags. So the twist on this game, what I really liked about this game is that at the end of the game, you always have that faster, smarter team. There's always that group of faster, smarter kids, right? And in this game, what ends up happening is the twist is each color has a different value. And you have to make sure you change, especially like if you're in secondary, where you have middle school and high school and you have different kids that are coming to your class. It's very important that you change the value of the color as class period, because even the Buell kids who do not have phones, and in the hallways during the passing periods, they would tell each other, like they saw that their friend was going into the library, and they'd be like, pick yellow flag, because they knew that the yellow flag. So I would range the points from, in this case, it would be 0 to 5. So it could be 0 being the blue flag, 1 being the pink flag, purple being 2 points, and it would go like that. So even though they could have had 10 flags, if 6 of their flags were 0 points, they really didn't get any points. So at the end of the day, it doesn't always reward the fastest, smartest team. Kind of levels the playing field because you don't know what the color, like the point system on the flags. You keep that a secret. So they really enjoyed this. The winning team would get candy. I had really great participation. Some of them would try to get sneaky and try to get out of the database, and they would try to Google the answers, and that wasn't always the greatest either. So they were really learning on how to use these databases and logging in. And if you see the picture, they're really, really entertained with this. But it was called Capture the Flags. Do I have any questions with Capture the Flags? Did it make sense? Anything from moderator?
No, there's no questions at this
No
time.
questions. Cool. So yeah, this is just like a really easy, quick way to get them up and moving and just a different way of learning databases. Digital escape rooms. So in this one, this is where we did use the Google Forms. So in this one on election day, which was November 4th, I want to say, this is a little bit bigger, one of the bigger classes. We did a digital escape room where they were choosing their candidate at the end of the class period. They got to vote whether they were going to vote for Joe Biden or Donald Trump. And we used the databases to compare the candidates and for them to make a more educated choice. So it wasn't like, oh, Miss Martinez loves Donald Trump and Mr. Proctor wants to vote for Biden because whatever reason, our own personal opinions. We made quizzes based on a video on the facts of the database, right? So on this one, we did the same thing. We had a discovery, excuse me. So I'm so sorry. I'm drinking a soda. So we had a discovery education video, copied the transcript, sent it to Magic School. And then for Magic School, that's when we went to Google Forms, and I have the form right here. Was this one. So on this one, oh, I am a huge liar. So sorry. I did this one. I did use two other different databases. I used Britannica School and Newsomatic. So we used articles from Newsomatic and Britannica School. Britannica School is the encyclopedia, the digital encyclopedia. It has 3 levels, and Newsomatic gives you current articles of what's happening around the world. So there were articles on the presidential candidates, and that's what I used for this one. So I did this. I did do the same thing. I did get the database and make the questions. But again, so we used the Google form here, team members, they would type their names. And then this was a scenario as a political analyst. Your first assignment is to navigate the election process. You use Botanical School to answer the question of how we select a president of the United States. All answers will be numbers. So gave them specific instructions. And this was our digital breakout room. So it was so in Botanical School, search for the article called Electrical College and answer the question, how many electrical votes, I'm saying electrical, right? Like lights, I'm so sorry, are required to win the US presidential election? Hint, the map. So on this one, they had to look for the article and there was images. So they had to be very vigilant about looking at the image and looking for the numbers. And if they entered the wrong number, it would tell them it was wrong and it was incorrect and they couldn't move on. The only problem with these is sometimes that the kids will enter like 13 and then space, it'll still count it wrong whether the answer is correct because of that space. It has to be exactly to what it is. Why do I have this upgrade? But this is the way we made the digital escape room. And it was just different questions pertaining to the articles. So how many votes did Barack have to win? And this is where the kids were also like frustrated with sometimes reading the articles and going back and forth. So they would try to use Google to Google the answers. And again, Google is a giant search. So we would tell them like, not everything on Google is real. Databases are vetted. They're factual information. We're not Googling things. So any questions on this one? No? Okay, cool. I'm going back to this. Do I have a picture of trash cabal? I don't have a picture of trash cabal. So the last one was trash cabal. I think, you know what? I think I do have. I think it's on one of my hidden sites. Give me a second. I have a link. Because since I don't have a picture of this one, trash ball. So this is the third game I like to incorporate. This one's a little easy. It's kind of like capture the flags, very, very easy. The cool thing is that my science teacher at Buell also had a trash can that was in the shape of a basketball hoop. So that was cool. So that made the game a little bit easier. But you would do the series of questions just the same way, whatever topic you are playing with, you would use the database to get your video. You would have the kid to watch the video. You would compose your questions. In this case, we had 10 questions and we had usually teams of 2 or 3. This is kind of the layout. In the middle of the library, I would put masking tape on the floor, which are these little lines. And then we would have the trash can. So they had the opportunity every time they had a question right, the same thing as capture the flags. You answer a question, you get to take a opportunity to shoot. They get to choose the line that they want to shoot with. At Buell, they're really about going to the 5-point line to shoot from here. And then they would miss them all. So then the last team would like shoot them from here to win the game. So it says right here, trash can not against the wall, as the backboard makes it too easy. So I couldn't put it in the center of the room. The kids really liked this because they got to incorporate throwing balls. They were just wadded up paper, scratch paper that was either the trash or something that we were going to throw. We would wad them up, and they had that opportunity to throw and play basketball in the library, which was really fun for them. And of course, the winning team, we would add up the points at the end of the quiz, the 10-question quiz. And then they would that would determine the winner. So it's just another easy way to, again, because who wants to learn about databases? I mean, me, right? Because I'm a librarian and we love to keep on learning, but what kid wants to learn about databases? So this makes it a little bit more interesting and interactive, and they get up and they're throwing balls and they're egging on each other, and it's good sportsmanship. And then even the teacher got into it, and he was showing them like, you got to throw it, you got to flick your wrist. And I'm not a sports person, but it was really cool to see the kids interacting with each other and like trying to like also math skills, trying to think, oh, like that team has 7, we need this many points to beat them. So very, very cool. So let me go back. And you all said I had till
2:55.
a whole hour. I didn't know I had a whole
Yes.
hour. I thought it was 45 minutes.
So Linda, on that trash one, they would have to read an article from a database so that they can answer the questions about that article?
It would be either an article or they would watch a video. So it was just different ways of using whatever they were learning that week. I think for the trash ball, that's when we worked with the science teacher. So it was that cell video that they watched. And then I would give them the 10 or 15 questions. And every time they would answer, they would get an opportunity to shoot from the line, one of the lines they chose. So we didn't say like, oh, you have to shoot from 5 this time. It was just a different way of, like I said, them learning. Like if I answer this question correctly, I get a shoot. So they were really down for getting answers correctly and looking for those answers because they all wanted to shoot that ball. And it wasn't very far. Like where the teacher is standing, that was like the 5-point line, and then the trash can was like up right next to the screen. So this library is itty bitty. It's that like the half a size of a classroom. So you could make it as big or as long as you want. The masking tape is up to you. I just put masking tape on the floor and then wrote with a Sharpie on top of the tape, like 5 points. What the kids really liked about it also, what the kids didn't anticipate, the ceiling, it doesn't look so low here, but when they would try to throw it, especially from the 5-point line, it would hit the ceiling and then the ball would come straight down. So it was just different ways of teaching each other, and you could hear them coaching each other as well. So what I really loved about all of these games at the end was like, these kids usually don't talk to each other. They don't want to work with each other. They're there and they're upset that they're there, right? They're not with their friends. And there was a lot of collaboration with the kids and groups. And even though we assigned the groups and we put them together, there was a lot of talking. And that's what we want the kids. We want to have kids learn to communicate. I also feel this generation's very again, iPad, and they don't have those communication skills. So this got them talking, and even when they were throwing the ball and coaching each other, hey, like you can't throw it, you can't arch it. They would say you can't arch it because it's gonna hit the ceiling. So they were coaching each other instead of like making fun of each other, which I thought was really, really cool. Anyone else? Because I think, didn't they say the last 10 minutes for questions? I finished like 5 minutes early, but if we can do questions.
We could do the survey, and then there's a survey that's also done for the entire conference.
Okay, cool.
Let me just share it. Okay.
Okay, let me
yeah.
share. And
Yes.
if you all need to find me, again, I'm Linda Martinez. I'm the librarian at Bears now. I'm the only Linda in the district, Linda Martinez in the district, so there's no number attached to my name. Linda Martinez, you can find me on Teams. I usually respond really well on Teams, even after hours. So if you need me, or hey, what was that again? Because I know today has been a long day and things like that. Am I still sharing? I am. Stop sharing. So whatever you need from me, let me know. And talk to your librarians. Your librarians have a lot of information.
I've already shared it on the chat for your session, and I've also shared where you can go and click on the link for the entire conference. And on Monday, the 18th, if you were one of the lucky winners, to win the door prizes, just click on the link and it'll show who actually won and from what campus. And I think there is like a deadline where you need to pick it up. If you all can go in and do that, we appreciate it. And thank you, Linda. And thank you, everybody, for coming to our conference.
Yes, thank you so much for sticking out through the very end. Yeah,
yes.
Great. Yeah.
Especially door prizes.
Oh, door prizes. Yes, I know that one. Like, I've never presented for this conference, but I've won a couple of things. I got like a wireless keyboard one time. Very cool.
Yes.
So.
Yes, I got a wireless keyboard too.
Oh yeah.
Which
cool
is
stuff.
Still in the box, right? But I'm gonna use it.
We're gonna use it.
Yes.
So thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you. Have a good afternoon, and thank you for being with us this Saturday.
Bye. Thank you.
I think, Linda, you have to wait till 2:55, but
Okay.
everybody else can exit out as soon as you
I'll
finish
stick around
with
for
you.
questions or
Yes.
anything like that with my crazy hair.
It was very informational, Linda. I like the magic one, magic AI. I hadn't heard about that,
Yeah, it makes all your quizzes. What about the link for the entire conference?
It's there, they just have to read a little bit further down, and it'll say, we hope you enjoyed the session. It says end of the conference survey. Click on that and it'll do that. Also there's a link in blue for the winners for the door prizes. So everything is all in that last paste,
Oh, thank you, Miss Morelius. You're here. Hi. Yeah. MagicSchool just makes things a lot easier. I love the image generator. I mean, there's so much.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, I try to, and if you guys need like a little template of like the capture the flags, I just use like some stock photo of flags and print them out and cut them out myself. Yeah. I try to do things.
I like the basketball one,
Yeah,
that would be something that the little ones would definitely like, I could picture it in my library, them trying to shoot, into the basket after reading an article. That's something
Read an
that
article
they
and
would
answering
enjoy.
questions. Have an opportunity, and I mean, they do anything for like a little Jolly Rancher, or well, maybe not Jolly Ranchers for the littles because those are hard candy, but They'll do anything, like for my Beal kids did anything for a little Reese's Pieces cup or something.
Yes.
So, and they had a lot of fun, and I did get to see them yesterday a little bit, and they were like, "Miss, why are you leaving us early?" I use Capture the Flags in my classroom. I can use, yes, Capture the Flags is really cool. They get really competitive, and if you are a secondary teacher, like I said, you do need to change the values of the flags for every class, because I caught it where like the Buell kids, they're not supposed to talk in passing period because it's very like hands behind their back, no talking, and like it was like, oh, pick the yellow flag, because a kid came and he was like, why am I picking the yellow flag? Like, and the yellow flag was like the 5-point flag. So they were telling each other. So just especially, oh, well, this year there won't be phones, right? But if they see each other, they'll be like, oh, and such class, like they're gonna play this game and you have to pick the high level flag. So we got smart because they were trying to outsmart us. So change the values of the flags, change the values. Yeah. But it was really cool because what I did like is that it's always the smarter, faster kids that win those competitions. And when you change the value of the flags and they don't know, they're kind of like, miss. Like I had one group that was like, that's not fair. Like we finished first, all our questions were right. Like we deserve a candy. So it's just keeping them on their toes, right? They're like,
Yeah.
Linda, like this librarian always has something up her sleeve.
Yeah. Are you going to be presenting at the best practices, the elementary, or no?
No, I'll be at the high school one, but I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, there's 3 levels now.
Yes.
This is the first year they're having elementary, right?
I think so. Yes. I'm presenting at the elementary one.
So we've been having it for a couple of years already. I didn't want to present. I didn't want to present because I was, since even before I was moving to Bears, I was fixing up those libraries. So PTI is getting a new library and
Yes.
Buell is getting a new space. So I didn't want to feel overwhelmed with like making a presentation for this one and then that one. So when Amy said, you know how Amy says we have to present, there was one where Discovery Education is coming in and you're kind of like the moderator.
Yes.
I was like, I'm doing that one. I waited for somebody else to take it and nobody else did. So I was like, oh, I'll do that one.
No,
So I
there's
don't
a
have to.
lot of good information on Discovery Education. When
Yes.
we had it at Region 1,
Mhm.
I was like, wow, I was shocked
There's
that
so much to
it's
take
so
into, and it
much.
feels like I hadn't seen that AI generator now, so that wasn't a feature, and it does say beta. So
Mhm.
I am really interested to see like what it is, because like I was playing around with it right now and I was like, oh, I'm taking too much time. But I hadn't seen that. Even last night I hadn't seen it. So I'm really interested. So you wouldn't have to go through like Magic School and like app smashing where you could do it just there
Mhm.
in-house. But yeah,
Mhm.
Discovery Education has a lot. And I think that's what ends up happening. Like educators just get so overwhelmed with all
Yes.
the things. And then it's the beginning of school year. And then we try to go in and be like, Mac and Via and Destiny and and Discovery Education. And we're trying to teach them all these things, but they're just so overwhelmed with everything else.
Oh.
Best wishes. Oh, thank you so much. You too.